Howdy, Possum Patty here, and Yepers, I'm doing stuff today. I'm just doing some stuff. I'm trying to get a little bit organized. Don't laugh, I know. Well, I'm good at organizing, but then I never put anything away where it should be, and I lose everything anyway. But you might remember these plastic envelopes, these little storage baggy things I got at the flea market last week, and I said I would use them to organize my dies. And look at this. All neatly put away and marked in alphabetical order right there. I still have a whole bunch left. I have a couple large dies I put up at the top here, and I got a whole bunch of envelopes left there too. But, just in case I get some more dies, I'll just keep it all in there. Oh, and while I was doing that, I was like, oh, my dragon die, right? My dragon die that I got from Globleland. Yes, I said I would do a process video for them. And I started with the one-piece dragon. And man, this was so easy to do. It worked like a charm. It was my polka dotted dragon. And these veins on the wing, they were so easy to punch out. I just took my finger like this and they popped right out. I love when the die is cut that well. I did have to use my poker on, I think, a little tiny piece there and there. But other than that, it came out beautifully. And it even has like embossed scales on it. I love the little bit of texture on there. And well, I made a flower one, and I made one from a music sheet. I made a big pile of them. Yeah, I did. This one's made with thin paper, like an oriental design. It's a colorful one. I got a red one with gold foil. Yes, I made a few. I want to make some more. I want to make a whole pile of dragons. I love these. Yes, they came out like a dream. And I love they have that little bit of embossing on them, except the one thing was I wanted to make some dragons, so I'd have some facing this way and some facing this way. But when you turn the paper over, it works really well, right? They're facing each other. This is what I wanted to do, except for now the embossing's on the back. And it just has such neat scales and things in it. I was like, oh, that's too bad. I'll have to find a dragon facing the other way that looks like that. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, but I loved it. I made a pile of them. I made a big pile of them, yes. And I might make more. But before I make more, I do want to punch out some of these with some paper. I have some paper over there, like mixed media kind of paper or illustration type paper, because I want to paint or use some markers on a few of these, maybe some shimmery kind of paints. And then the second dragon is the one that comes in all these different pieces, and you have to assemble it. So I'm going to show you how I assemble it. And what I did first, it's all sort of clipped together, and I just took the whole thing and I ran it through the Big Shot machine just to get started. Well, you can't do that. No, you have to take it apart because the tip of the tail and one of the legs is in the middle of the body. You see, so if you run it through without taking it apart, the body of the dragon has a foot and a tail. And no, that's not going to work. Okay. But everything else is fine. The veins, look at that. Oh, I'm going to do it in different papers and then assemble the dragons, mixing and matching the different patterns and things. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to paint the other dragon. and get a couple of dragons ready to do a journal page with them. They have to go in my magical journal, don't they? Oh, and while I was organizing, I kind of ran out of these little magnetic sheets, you know, to put the little tiny dies on. So I got out my box of magnets, and you know, the cheap little magnets that you buy at the Dollar Tree, they're like glue dots, really. And you peel off the back and you stick them on like that. So I was going to stick a couple on here to put the little pieces. Ooh, I just lost his tooth. The tooth is this little tiny, 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 tiny piece. It was just here a second ago. I know. I'm terrible. It'll show up. I'm sure it'll show up. Okay. And then I'll put the little pieces on there after I get it apart. So, well, come on along for some dragon fun. All right, just sitting down. I already found the little tooth. See how tiny that is? Stuck it there. Let's see if it stays. Okay. Before I dash over to my Big Shot machine, I just want to show you how I take these apart in case you've never done this before. I use my these are like jewelry pliers, you know, when you work the metal wire for your jewelry. And these things usually snap off pretty easily. Okay, this is going to make a liar out of me. Dispose of the little metal bits properly so they don't fall into the hands of small children and tiny cats. See, and I can put that there. Okay, one more here. I'm thinking I don't really need to take these apart unless I want to. But this one definitely has to come apart. Give it a little twist. Like that, comes off. And then I just grab it with these and like that, see? Comes off. I got one more. Let's see if I can bend that with my fingers. Sometimes they'll come off with your fingers like that if you've only got one little piece holding it on. And I try to grab it close like that and just snap it like that. And that comes off. All right, so now I'm not going to use that little tooth today. If I feel like the dragon needs a tooth, I'm going to use a white gel pen. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to take these pieces over to my machine and I will be right back. Got a pile of dragon parts right here. Got the directions. Okay, I didn't do the tooth, so I did 8 parts. So I've got the head, the body. Oh, what I thought was the tail. It's just the scales that are underneath. That goes over there. I might do this in different colors, but I wanted to punch it all out in blue first. Oh, there's a ×2 on here. Yes, well, if you read the directions before you started die cutting, you would know that you need 2 wings, 2 front legs, and 2 back legs. Yes, Stinky Winky Woos is in here. She was banging on the door before. So I guess I'm going back to the die cutting machine. Dinky, did you come in to help? Well, I did wind up taking all the pieces apart, and I'll tell you why. It works fine if you leave them together, except for the body parts like I showed you before, because I was trying to use up this bag of scraps that's been sitting here for, a few years. That's what I was making the single cut dragons out of. And I was trying to use up the scraps, just make a pile of them. But I don't know, the bag seems fatter after using all those little bits and pieces. Well, anyway, because I was using pieces that were smaller and smaller and smaller, I had to cut it up to fit them all on. But I got all my magnetic dots on there. So now that's ready to be stored. If I don't keep knocking them off. There we go. And now this is ready to be stored away. And what I did was I put one dragon together. Got some parts under here too. I put one dragon together so you can see what it would look like. Sometimes I'm in the mood for fussy die cuts and sometimes I'm not. So that's why I'm really glad there's one single piece and a fussy one. But let me tell you, I had fun doing this fussy thing. But maybe because it was a dragon, I don't know. And I love my dragons. I got out a piece of parchment paper to work on because I'm just doing this without gluing it down to something. So let's make one together. Okay, we're going to make a starry one. But when I went back to the Big Shot machine, I used gold. Look at that. Ooh, yes. Navy blue with gold stars and gold. Okay, let's use some original tacky glue. America's favorite craft glue, premium quality. I'm trying desperately not to get the glue on the gold. Okay, so you have, whoops, it's on my fingers already. So you have the body and you have the underneath scales. And that goes on very easily. Now, the next thing I would do would be to put the head, where's the head? Put the head on. And the picture is showing it so that that indent there, right there, is just about over the gold part like that. So I'm going to put a little glue right across the top of the neck. Too much glue. And then just put the head down like that. All right, now I'm going to put that aside for a moment. And let's see. Do I want gold wings with blue veins? Ooh. Yeah, that's very pretty. Yeah, so I like that. I was going to say, or blue with gold. Ooh, they're both very nice. Well, I think I'm going to go with the gold for this one. And then I can make like a dragon that's like the opposite, right? So I need another blue. All right, got the other one. So you need two wings. There's my model right there, my flower dragon. That could be like the spring dragon. And this is the winter solstice dragon. Oops, this is the winter solstice dragon. Okay, I'm going to use my finger tools here to spread it because this is very thin. Look at that. Oh, that is going to be gorgeous. Okay, now I'm going to do the same to this one. Just line up the front edges. Okay, now these get glued on at the points. So the back wing gets glued behind the head like that. And the front wing gets glued on the shoulder like that. Now you can make that low, make the wings low down, or you can make them high, or you can put them in the middle. All right, so I'm gonna put glue right at the point where, come on glue, right there where it's gonna get glued. So the glue on the back wing goes on the front. See? And the glue on the front wing goes on the back. Okay, now you can't move that around too much, right? I had to cut 2 legs because I didn't follow the ×2 on that one. Oh well. Okay. Now, make sure it's not sticking underneath. I'm going to glue the back leg on first, and it's a little high, as you can see, right in front of the tail. But the top of the leg is like in the middle of the body. And the front leg is the thinner one. And I'm going to put it a little close to the back leg because then the other front leg has got to stick out over there. Now the back leg gets glue on the front, and the front legs get glue on the back. And this is the back leg, so it gets glue on the front. And there's just a little bit of that leg showing back there. And that's what it looks like on the back and the front. And he needs one more thing, the little tail piece. And put that down there like that. Oh, I love these. These are super fun. Plant seeds and pick the blooms. Affirmations for a life of balance, creativity, and fulfillment. Change myself so I can change the world. Make yourself a catalyst for positive change. And don't forget that before you can contribute to your local or global community, it's important for you to feel your own sense of inner peace and happiness. After all, it's what we're all searching for. Let these qualities radiate through your eyes to others, and you will affect everyone you meet. Action. Take quiet meditative time today to create a sense of inner peace and joy. Once you're in a space of stillness, say the following aloud. I am at peace with myself, and I am open to the universe as an instrument of service and love.